Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and today we got a pretty big leak, I would say. So we just got a leak of Joel Embiid's first signature shoe with Under Armour. So he signed with Under Armour. There's a few others, obviously there's Steph Curry, and there's Mo Bamba, and then Dennis Smith Jr. And I think that's about all of the signature athletes that they have signed. Joel Embiid's the second person, or I guess signature athlete from Under Armour to get a signature shoe. And I think Under Armour should sign a few more people, or I guess give Mo Bamba and Dennis Smith Jr. a shoe, you know? But, anyways, so let's take a look at them. So shout out to, I guess, The Basketball Shoes for these leaks. And also shout out to Chris Summies. I don't know, he sent over this picture, and it's another colorway of the Embiid one, is I guess what they're gonna be calling it. So shout out to Joel Embiid, where he's come from, all the work that he's done. And he also said about his signature shoe that, of course, he's a big man, but it was designed for most players. Most players can play in it, and seeing from the actual design, it looks like most players can, play in it. I mean, big man shoes never really sell too well. As far as the price goes, we don't really know what the price is gonna be, but if the Currys are at what, like 130, 140 bucks, if it's his first signature shoe, I'm guessing it's gonna be around 110, 120 bucks, right? Probably not 120, I'm guessing more around the $110 range. Release date, we don't have an exact release date, but they said it's gonna release during the fall of 2020. So yeah, let's get it started off with the traction as always. So the traction looks very interesting. It just looks like really long lines. It reminds me a lot of the Anatomic Spawn and Anatomic Spawn 2. They just really long lines. I don't really like that too much. It makes it so that it's not as durable. It's just a really soft and pliable rubber, which isn't really good for durability. And that literally just goes throughout the entire outsole. And it's kind of like a heat map, I would say. And there's a little bit of heat map or color scheme in the heel as well. I wonder if this left and right shoe are like the same exact colorway, because they have different colors on the bottom. I think that's exposed cushion on the bottom as well. I mean, you never really know about the performance of the traction until you actually play in it, but as far as durability goes, it doesn't really seem very good. Then, as far as the cushion goes, the cushion, we can see that it says Micro G here on the forefoot on the lateral side, and then it says Hover in the back, and Hover in this shoe is not, it doesn't have that netting. So when Hover was first introduced by Under Armour, I believe it was in these two shoes, right? And Hover is super soft, and I really fell in love with these. I love wearing this shoe. The Sonic is probably one of my favorite shoes to just casually walk around in, because it's just so soft, but also like responsive. It's not too soft, it's not too mushy. Of course, they did cage it with this foam, but if you actually feel it, or I guess in the Phantom, if you actually feel the Hover cushioning, it's super soft. Initially, they said they have to cage it because, it'll be too soft and too unstable, which I understand. But then they kind of went away from that, and then Under Armour introduced the Hover Havoc, and this is the first basketball shoe to feature Hover cushioning. And it looks pretty much the same as far as it's caged and you can see the Hover cushioning, but like, I don't know what they did, but it's super stiff. You can't really feel it at all, and you definitely can't feel it as much as the Sonic or Phantom. And that was a pretty big disappointment because, I was super excited because this cushioning was so nice. Then of course the 2 came out, and then they changed it up where I guess the Hover cushioning is basically the entire midsole. There's really no caging. But then if you feel it, I mean the netting and all that, it looks pretty much the same, but if you feel it, it's really stiff. There's a little bit of heel compression, just slightly, but I mean, I guess it's a little bit better than just stiff Phylon, stiff EVA, but nothing compared to, the Hover found in this. I'm kind of excited again because if you look at this cushioning setup, it does not have the netting, so hopefully it's a different compound, or like they did something to Hover to make it a little bit softer where you can feel it a little bit more. I'm pretty sure Steph Curry, in his line, as we've seen, he doesn't really like to have a soft cushion. He likes a very responsive, low to the ground cushion setup, and I kind of gave up on the Curry line having good cushion. So hopefully we'll start to see better cushioning in the Embiid line. And it's pretty interesting because in the forefoot, there is that forefoot Micro G, and Micro G has also been kind of disappointing as of late. In the Anatomic Spawn 2, full length Micro G, not very nice. I miss these days, the clutch fit drive, the OG clutch fit drive with the full length Micro G. I mean, core feel was really good and it's like pretty thin, but you know, has a nice little bounce to it. Impact protection was really nice. So this overall was really nice, but micro G as of late hasn't been. And in the forefoot, I don't know, I just don't think the micro G is gonna be super nice, but you know, it's micro G in the forefoot. But also, like, I'm not sure like how this heel cushioning setup is, because if you look in the back, the hover is on the white, you know, the white midsole, but then that's on the bottom, right? And then the black part of the actual cushion in the heel takes up a majority of the, you know, cushioning setup in the heel. So what is that black part? Or is that just color, you know? And so that black and white part is all hover and it's just a different color scheme. I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's all just like the same. It's all hover. It's just a different color scheme. And if that's the case, I'm very excited because I'm hopeful right now, and I hope that, you know, they changed it up and they made it pretty similar to this and just made it overall softer and also a little bit bouncier. That'd be really cool. As far as the materials go, the materials in the toe area, and I guess throughout the entire upper, is this very airy mesh. One good thing is that ventilation will probably be good. There is a good amount of fuse in the toe area and also where the eyelets are. And then in the back, you have kind of like a fuse counter. It doesn't look like it's plastic, it just looks like it's fused. So there's probably an internal TPU heel counter, and it looks to have a good amount of padding in the ankle area as well. This shoe looks really light overall, you know, with the mesh. Obviously I don't know yet, but just that's what it looks like to me, because you know Joel Embiid is a center, and if he's a center, we're usually expecting like a big and heavy and bulky shoe, but you know, this doesn't seem like that. And then the midfoot area, there's just a plastic wing coming up, which is really good for lateral movements, caging you in for lateral movements. So that's also a nice little touch. Hopefully it's not like too stiff, you know, like sometimes if it's a really stiff plastic as opposed to like a softer type of plastic, it can dig into your foot. Like for example, like in the Kobe 10, you know, that carbon fiber clip that just killed my pinky toe when I played in. So hopefully it's not like that. And this shoe seems to have a pretty high ankle area. That would probably be good for ankle support. And overall, I mean, it's not a horrible looking shoe. I think Under Armour did a pretty good job on designing it. And a lot of people, like every single comment, you know, on Instagram on this picture when I posted it, they were like, it looks exactly like the Kyrie 2. And yeah, it looks pretty similar to the Kyrie 2, and that's not a bad thing, you know? So yeah, I am pretty excited. I'm hopeful that, you know, they'll expand their basketball shoe line, and then, you know, I just want a nice cushion setup, you know? You guys do cushioning very well. Hover is a nice cushion setup, but they just do stuff in their basketball shoes that just doesn't make it nice. So hopefully they redeem themselves in the Embiid 1. Tell us your thoughts on the aesthetics, and do you also think it's going to be a good performer? But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.